Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Jashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. It's not on. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Harinam, Harinam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Haribol, 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 Gaur Haribol. Gaur Premanande. Jai Vishwabad Paramahamsa Parivachakacharya His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitila Jai Vishwabad Paramahamsa Parivachakacharya His Divine Grace. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glory to the assembled devotees, all glory to the assembled devotees, all glory to the assembled devotees. Glory to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 1, Text 24. Himsa tad avimanena. Himsa tad avimanena. Danda parushayor yatha. Danda parushayor yatha. Vashyamyam iha bhutanam. Vashyamyam iha bhutanam. Mamaham iti parthiva. Mamaham iti parthiva. Himsa tad abhimanena. Danda parushayor yatha. Vashyamyam iha bhutanam. Mamaham iti parthiva. Himsa tad abhimanena. Danda parushayor yatha. Vashyamyam iha bhutanam. Mamaham iti parthiva. Yes, please. Imanena Danda parushayor jatha. Vaishamyam iha bhutanam. Mamaham iti parthiva. Himsa vimanena. Danda parushayor jatha. Vaishamyam iha bhutanam. Mamaham iti parthiva. Himsa vimanena. Danda parushayor jatha. Vashyamyam iha bhutanam. Mamaham iti parthiva. You guys want to try? Himsa vimanena. Danda parushayor jatha. Vashamyam ya bhutanam. Avimanena. Danda parushayor jatha. Vashamyam iha bhutanam. Mamaham iti parthiva. Tadavimanena. Mamaya bhutana. Himsa, suffering. Tat, of this. Abhimanena, by the false conception. Dandaparushayo, when there is punishment and chastisement. Jatha, just as. Vaishyamyam, misconception. Iha, here in this body. Bhutanam, of the living entities. Mama aham, mine and I. Iti, thus. Parthiva, O Lord of the earth. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear King, the conditioned soul, being in the bodily conception of life, considers his body to be his self and considers everything in relation with the body to be his. Because he has this wrong conception of life, he is subjected to dualities like praise and chastisement. Purport: only when a conditioned soul accepts the body as himself does he feel the effects of chastisement or praise. Then he determines one person to be his enemy and another his friend, and wants to chastise the enemy and welcome the friend. This creation of friends and enemies is a result of one's bodily conception of life. That's the purport. So this is a very basic concept of our Krishna consciousness philosophy, the Hare Krishna movement, to overcome the bodily platform. And actually that is also the instruction of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Jahi nasmin jata dehe, that the body is growing and is going through various changes. Childhood to youth to old age, death, ultimately. Jata dehe, komara, at the young age. But a devotee knows that the body changes only. Body is changing, it's taking its shapes. But we know, a devotee knows, an intelligent person knows that it's only the bodily changes, but not the soul. So you have to, first of all, understand this very concept, beginning level of the philosophy of Bhakti Yoga is to know that I'm not this body. Then everything else will fall in its place. The very problem of this material world is when we think I'm this body. Everything starts from that. Because I'm thinking I'm this body, everything related to this body, and then you consider others, like it says here, we like somebody, we don't like someone. This is because we're relating to the body. The material body is temporary and it is bound to diminish at a particular time. And it's growing, the body is changing and is growing and leading to its dissolution. This is why one time we're a child and then gradually we become teenage and then the body will get old. If we cannot understand this very beginning principle of the yoga system of Bhakti Yoga, that if we cannot overcome this, there's no question of understanding more advanced level of knowledge. The advanced level of knowledge is to Krishna's pastime, relationship with Krishna, various excesses of Krishna consciousness, of love for Krishna, Krishna prem, like we talk about. We will not understand this thing if we cannot understand the very beginning that I'm not actually this body, I am the spirit soul. Like it says here, aham mameti. Aham means I think I am this body. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm Indian, I'm African, I am American, black, white. This is just the bodily conception. Identify with the body. The identification of the body is that we think in this way. I am this body. Of course, when we are in this body, we identify in this way, but ultimately we have to understand that I am not this body. So the only way to really understand this principle is when we can understand that we are part and parcel of Krishna. That Krishna is the Supreme, I am His servant. Unless we can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead and our relationship with Him, we will never understand other things in connection to this Bhakti Yoga, spiritual teachings and knowledge, deeper understanding. We have to understand, I am not this body. The Prabhupada always says, time and time and again, I am not this body, you're not this body. But we are always identifying with it. All the time, we identify with our body. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm feeling cold. Oh, I have to go to my home. Like there is always issues with the bodily level. But those who are actually above the bodily conception of life, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that he is reached the super soul. He is a transcendental level. Brahma bhuta pasannatma na shoshati na kangshati. That is the spiritual platform that, on that platform, na kangshati, he doesn't lament or hanker. Because he has overcome this bodily level. As soon as you think you're this body, then you will feel pain, you'll feel thirsty, you'll feel hungry, so many things. Of course we'll feel those things. The more we identify, it only worsens it. We can talk about it to understand, but actually we have to practice. Like days, when there's days we have to fast, it's very difficult to fast, whole day. That's why we have to take shelter of Krishna. We have to deeply understand the Krishna consciousness, this philosophy. Then we will become more observed in Krishna consciousness, because then we are above the material platform, mundane platform, bodily platform, mundane consciousness. We are attracted to Maya, we are attracted to material facilities, because these things, the body requires these things. But actually, our body doesn't need much. Once you eat very palatable food, once it passes your tongue, that's it. The taste is only in the taste bud, on the tongue. When it passes the tongue, then it's all in your stomach. It doesn't matter. All mashed in. So we are attracted to seeing beautiful things. We are attracted to eating. We want to enjoy tasty food. But actually, those who are advanced, they're not affected by these things. Winter, summer, hot, cold. Right now it's so hot, we have to use a fan. And there are yogis, they live in Himalayas. They're surrounded by fire, they're meditating. There are yogis who live in the ice. They can overcome the bodily level, How can they do that? So difficult. But they work at it. Everything you do, you have to work at it. There's an endeavor. A sincere devotee always making an endeavor. It is very difficult to get up in the morning. Mind is giving you trouble. Hard to sleep at night. And you didn't get enough food. You came to the temple, not enough food, not enough prasadam. There's always something that bothers us. That's why Krishna says we have to become equipoised, equilibrium to the demands of the senses and the mind. That's the most difficult thing, especially in Kali Yuga. We are disturbed at every moment. Our mind is always dragging us to lower level of senses. To chant Hare Krishna, to associate devotees, it's a very simple thing. But because we identify with our mind, we identify with the body, it becomes difficult. The senses always giving us hard time. Waking up in the morning is so difficult. Actually, it's not. Once you're up, you take a shower, you come to the temple, it's very equilibrium. You feel peaceful. You feel shanti. You feel relaxed. You feel very wonderful. Just that overcoming that platform is the difficult part. But once you overcome your senses, the difficult part is over. You can chant Hare Krishna. It's such a wonderful thing. To be able to sit in the temple and chant Hare Krishna, it's the most easy thing to do. To see the deity, beautiful form of Radha Krishna, focus on them, on the mantra, the holy name. These things are very easy. But because we are completely observed in the bodily platform, it becomes difficult to think of Krishna, to look at the deity, because the mind is always dragging us to another objects and senses, sensual objects. That is going to be the test for us. How we are going to think of Krishna. At the time of death, that's the most difficult time. Do you ever think of this? The time death's going to come? Are you going to remember Krishna? Ante Narayana Smriti. Ante, at the end. So no problem. But we have to practice. To practice to remember Krishna. We always identify, I like this, I don't like that. He's my friend, like it says here. I hate him, I like him. This is actually Maya. Think in this way. This is the world today. Everyone's fighting with each other. This is my country, your country. This belongs to me, that belongs to me. That aham mameti. I, me, and mine, and I. This is the material consciousness. Materialistic person, they think everything is mine. Nothing belongs to us. When we took our birth here, everything was already here. We came naked in the mother's womb. We didn't have anything with us. Nothing belongs to us. When we will go back, when you die, everything stays here. But this illusion to think, I need this, I need that, I hate you, I like... This is all for the bodily conception. Deep Maya. All clinging unto the senses, clinging unto sense perception, clinging unto material possessions. I have to have a car, I need a better car, better home, I need another home. In fact, we only need very little to survive. How much food can you eat? You are sitting here, you have a small plate, need a glass of water, and this little bit of food. That's it. You can have many homes, but you can only sleep in one. But this idea, this is called ego, false ego. False ego, false is not real. To think, I need this, I need that. I want to acquire and acquire. Atyahara prayaschatya. Rupa Goswami says, eating and sleeping so much, atyahara. Unnecessary activities, unnecessary. These things are unnecessary. How much do you need in life? And people have heaps of sunglasses, heaps of shoes, heaps of clothes, heaps of so many things in their home. They have more than necessary, unnecessary. That's why devotees of Krishna, they're satisfied with Bhagwan ka naam, Krishna's name, chanting Hare Krishna, taking shelter of Krishna. Because this is what gives us the real pleasure. Atmaram. Krishna is known as Atmaram. He's self-satisfied. And so, as the devotees, we're self-satisfied because we are associating with Krishna. Krishna is there in us. When you're associating Krishna, means we're chanting Hare Krishna. You're associating Krishna. Krishna is there in His name. We don't need so many things. You know, today, one country is fighting with other country because they want to own the land. They think it belongs to them. Just like when you come to Australia, they said, we welcome you here. But then they're asking you, do you have visa? They're barking. You go to India, same. Everybody is thinking we own our country, you own this, we own that. It all starts with your own self. I am this body. This is my body. The amount of food you eat, you calculate from childhood, from the time you die, how much food you ate. You can pile it all up. You'll be truck full of food. Isn't it? A truck full of food you ate, you consumed. How much money you spend on your body, on your hair, you iron your clothes every day. It takes so much time. How much time you spend on brushing your teeth and combing your hair and taking a shower. That's half of your life, if you calculate. And at the end, what do you get? The body is ashes to ashes. It's gone. Burnt. You don't even want to look at the dead body. Then you have to take a shower. That much we have to see in reality. What is the reality? The reality is, this body is temporary. It's going to finish. It's going to go into the earth. That's the reality. But the soul, Krishna says, the spirit soul, Atma, is eternal. Satchit Ananda Vigraha, full of joy, eternity and knowledge. That is the quality of the soul. That's not the quality of the body. Body is opposite. It's temporary and is growing, is dying every day. You look at your skin, it's getting old, it's shriveling up, hair's falling off, going gray, because that is the nature of this body. Body is temporary. We're not this body. Everybody have to go through the changes. But we, the soul, do not change. It's eternal. This is the beginning of the teachings of Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 1, chapter 2. Then chapter 12, he talks about devotional service. Chapter 18, he talks about full surrender, the process and the goal. The goal is to go back to Krishna. But in order to go back to Krishna, to go back home, back to Godhead, we have to overcome the bodily platform. Like if you're taking a swimming lesson, step by step, you can't say, I will cross the river immediately. It's all step by step. You have to know how to swim, to be able to float your body on the water. They teach you. They have a swimming teacher, the lesson. I want to swim across the river, a raging river. Impossible. See, you have to know how to swim, float your body on top, how to move your leg, how to move your hand. Gradually, you can feel that you're moving on top of the water. And then you have that feeling, oh my God, I can swim now. So Krishna conscious platform is that kind of, similarly, it's a very wonderful platform. When you can actually understand it's working, you feel, wow, I feel so fantastic. I chant Hare Krishna, I feel ecstatic, I feel joyful. We're not feeling because we are on the bodily platform. Oh, give me some pakora, give me the sweet rice, give me the ice cream. I love it. Because we are enjoying the taste. We're not thinking, oh Krishna, sarira vidaja, this has been offered to Krishna. It's so wonderful. Oh Krishna, thank you for offering, thank you for giving me this food. Are we thinking that? We're thinking how tasty it is for our tongue. We need to think, this is offered to Krishna. I'm relishing this taste, this prasad offered to Krishna. Even this little bit, I'm happy with it. I'm happy to just get a little bit. You see this change in our consciousness. Krishna consciousness means we have to always think how I can improve my spiritual life, how I can become a better devotee of Krishna, how I can develop those spiritual characters, the qualities, how I can become a better devotee of Krishna, overcome my senses, overcome the material platform, how I can situate myself on the spiritual platform. We're always thinking, always searching, always making an endeavor. Hard to get up, force yourself. We can't sleep forever. We can't live here forever. We can't live in our home forever. We can't live in this body forever. Time is clicking away. Everybody have to leave one day. That is the reality. It's not just philosophy, but we have to practically apply this knowledge to ourselves and realize that we are in a wrong place in the material world. So this Śrīmad Bhāgavatam teaches us. Why Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam is teaching us this philosophy because it's a spiritual book, it's a transcendental book. This is not the book to tell you economic development, how you can live here. This is why Prabhupada encouraged us to study Bhagavatam, to attend the class, listen to this philosophy, sit here, come to the program. It's very short. Life is short. We are here a very short time. We can all remember one time we were a child. Now we are teenage. Time is clicking away. We can all remember. Not long ago, we were a child, moving around the home, parents, we went to school, now you have a job, you have a family. So life is clicking away. So that's why this Hare Krishna movement is here, this temple's here, association of the devotees. These things are here, why? Because this thing can help us to overcome the bodily platform of life and come to the platform of bhakti, love for Krishna, Krishna consciousness. If we sincerely want to develop love for Krishna, then we have to get off the bodily platform. I'm not this body. Just like a few days ago, it was a New Year's Eve, and we had a Harinam Sankirtan in the street. We started about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, till midnight, till 12:30 at night. Singing, dancing, very joyful. People were so observed in, looking at the firework and a Happy New Year. But underneath is full of misery. The next day they wake up late because they drank too much, eat too much meat. That's not the way to celebrate Happy New Year. To really understand, it's the beginning of another year. How I can become a better person, how the world can become a better place, more peaceful, more equilibrium. Not we become a more big of an enjoyer. The world is a place of suffering. This means here, the first verse, himsa means suffering. We're trying to put aside the suffering. We are bombarded by unhappiness, distress, and suffering in this. We are bombarded. But that is the fact of life. You can't push away. But we can overcome by filling ourselves with Krishna consciousness. Just like if you're swimming across the river and so many plants and stuff, you can push to the side. Then your swimming become more smooth. So these are anarthas in our heart, anartha, material desires. Desire to enjoy this body, desire to enjoy this world, desire to acquire material wealth, desire to live comfortably here. It's a wrong place. We're in a wrong place for those things. But you can desire. Bhaktamam vijanati, Krishna says. Bhakti, you can develop bhakti, love for Krishna. Those are tangible things. Those are the things you can take with you. Spirituality, love for Krishna. Material things will all remain here, including our body. It will all remain here. So the very beginning of the Krishna consciousness, the very beginning of this philosophy is when we can go above this material platform, material consciousness. Now people are fighting like cats and dogs. Prabhupada used to always say, cats and dogs. You see one dog, see another dog, you're in my territory. They start barking at each other. We're doing the same thing, the human beings. This is my country, your country. This is my home, your home. They're fighting with each other. Before, they used to fight with mantra, bows and arrows. Now they destroy their everything. Middle of night, they're sleeping. Destroy the earth, you can't grow anything, full of chemical. And they call it this advanced society. So cats and dogs. Human society has come to the cats and dog society. You dress up a cat, a dog, with suit and tie, put a crown, but they still jump off when you show them the meat. They don't have the character of a human being. Human life is meant for cultivating bhakti. Human life is meant to go back to our home, back to Godhead. The purpose of human life. We're on the animal platform. Human beings are acting like animals. Dui pada pashu, two-legged animals. Prabhupada said 99% of the population in the world, they haven't understood God. They're in this bodily platform. You see how many devotees, how many Indian people living here in Melbourne? Thousands, and all over Australia, maybe millions. But how many actually devotees, devotee family? Very few. And amongst that, how many who are really serious? Manishyanam jahasreshu kashti jatata siddhaye jatatam api siddhanam karsinmam jattata. Krishna says, among thousands, one is serious who is very rare. Durlava manusham janma. Very rare to find such a sincere soul. We are running after sense gratification, running after sense enjoyment, chewing the chewed. Krishna said, this is chewing the chewed. They chew something, throw away, they chew it back on again. Bodhacha, I feel there's nothing in it. There's material enjoyment. So when you are in the bodily platform, you're trying to squeeze pleasure out of this material body. Material body is limited, doesn't have much in it. Full of trouble, full of misery. You see the bones and blood. That's the main thing this body is made out of. Bhumi, Rapo, Nalavayu, Kangmana, Buddhiracha. Krishna says, earth, water, fire, air. These are his energies. Material energy, temporary energies. You look at yourself, you think you are that body? When you're young, you may be thinking, then you get old, you look at yourself in the mirror, you think that's you? We're not this body. Write it down. Put it there, hang it on the back of your door. Wake up in the morning, I'm not this body. Remind yourself. Come to the temple. Like these two girls and this boy, you are now sincere. When you get old, hope you can continue this way. Sometimes you get old, think, I don't need anymore. I'm doing my own thing. You have to remind yourself, this is a lifetime service to Krishna. Our main purpose is to go back to Godhead. Sometimes we're enthusiastic, sometimes we're not. Ups and downs. I like it, I don't like it. I love you, I don't love you. I hate you. You're my enemy. You're my friend. We are constantly judging and considering. Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was one of the Pandava. His name was Ajatashatru. He had no enemy. Everybody loved him. He had no enemy. If I tell you something, you say, no, you're my enemy. You are telling me off. Immediately we're angry. We show our sour face. We make some judgments. We don't talk to each other for a long time. This happens amongst the devotees too. What kind of a devotee we are? He hears time to time, there's just punch up. So those who are sincere, those who are pure devotees of Krishna, they're completely satisfied. Chanting Hare Krishna. They don't need anything. They don't need a, fancy car and a fancy everything. Body is getting old, then he can't eat anymore. He can't eat fancy food anymore. I remember I used to ask my mother, she was very old. She said, I only eat this much and I feel sick. I can't eat much. When you're old, like 70, 80, unless you work at it, you exercise. No, when your body gets old, that's natural. Because the body is not everything that we think. Krishna created that way so we can remember Him. And that's the time of the life where we have to serve Krishna, surrender to Krishna. You can't carry on, try to enjoy this body. At least when you're old, give this body to Krishna. So He created this way, so we have to take shelter of Krishna towards the end of our life. There's one king, he fought for the demigods. And the demigod asked him, what do you like? We'll give you whatever you want, because you fought for us. He said, I don't want anything. Give me benediction, let me know how much time I have in this world. He said he only have a few minutes. So he was meditating on Krishna, to go back to Krishna. So if I tell you, you only have like 1 year left, then you get yourself really enjoyment and try to enjoy as much as you can, get a better car home. But that's just illusion. So we all know how much time we have in this world. We don't have much time. So when you think spiritually, it's actually a very nice feeling. When you chant Hare, you sit down here, chant Hare Krishna, you do a kirtan, you study the sastra, it just feels so good. Because these things are the real happiness of the soul. Soul happiness, spiritual happiness. You buy a packet of peanuts or cashews and you eat, and you feel sick. I wish I didn't eat it. You have a big feast and you eat. You sit down and you eat so much that you have to lie on your side. So where is the enjoyment? Isn't it? You eat 10 puris, the fasting, you just go for it. You eat, and you can't breathe. And you lie on your side, then change your side. You lie down on your right hand side, and this way you're suffering. Then you think, I wish I eat less. There was this yogi, 100 and something. He's living in bones, but still alive. 100 plus. I saw in the advertising in the Facebook, one person, very old. You see the trees very strong. Did they eat pizza or burgers? There's water, air. We think, I need this, I need that. I have to have a khichdi, salad, I need to have a drink, I need to have a paneer inside the khichdi, and then I need to have, what else? Donuts, hot milk, Mangal sweets, go on and on. You have a huge plate. And they eat all that, and you can't do your service. And when you're driving, you fall asleep. Overeating. You eat little bit and you're happy. Just a little bit of khichdi. Like this Prabhu's sister. She told me, I did the cleaning the body. And she told me, eat khichdi. 10 days I had to eat khichdi every day. Morning, breakfast, lunch. And there's plenty are here already. A lot of khichdi here in the temple. So I would eat and I keep a big plate, have that evening. 10 days. I was super healthy. Khichdi is like medicine. I didn't need to eat so many things. Then, first time I ate, she said not to eat any milk products too much. You can eat a little bit. And when you eat pizza, the cheese will melt on top. It's harder to digest. That's why in India we eat paneer. It's softer, it's easier to digest. When you cook the cheese, it's harder on the stomach to digest. You know that? Yeah. You can see yourself. Yeah. You can't even break it down. It's chewy like a plastic. You think, I gotta have pizza. This one guy was crazy for pizza. So I made him a whole tray. And we cut it all up, put it in a bucket, a half bucket. And I gave it to him, he took it home. He said, thank you. I didn't see him for days because he was digesting it. So we have to do things that's going to be easy for us to serve Krishna. Easy for us to get up in the morning. Don't fill yourself with so much food that you can't sleep at night. That there's no room to breathe. Every time you breathe, he's burping, actually. Then think, I'm enjoying, I'm an enjoyer. What kind of enjoyment is that? Like a camel. They have camel in Australia, somewhere in the back. They eat thorn. Thorn? How you say thorn in Hindi? Kata. Thorn? Did you ever eat thorn? They eat thorn and they, very nice. They're tasting their own blood because it's cutting their mouth. So we're thinking, I'm enjoying. But your stomach is bursting. There's no room to breathe. And you're feeling pain. I remember one time, I'm saying these things to tell us that when you think of this body, you try to enjoy this body in many ways. And there was a Balaram appearance day. And we had a Varuni drink. They have this drink called Varuni. It's Lord Balaram's favorite drink. It's actually honey, but we make it honey, milk, cream, and just too much. So I was very young then, and my friend, we said we have a contest. So everybody's sitting around, we had Varuni drink. Cup after cup, join next cup, join like this, maybe 10, 15, 20 cups Varuni drink. After that, we are so agony. Our body is total agony. I'd lie down on my left side it hurts. Lie down on my right hand side, it hurts. On my stomach, it hurts. My back, it hurts. Do a headstand, it hurts. Every part of my body, it hurts. So everybody said, jump in the river. And we went because we were on fire. 4 hours we were in agony because to go down. You can't throw it out. That's offensive. So we're thinking we're enjoying, we're actually suffering. And you think to myself, like, I wish I didn't eat all this. I wish I ate less. There are days when you fast and you think, oh, first thing in the morning, Janmashtami, I'm thinking, oh God, the whole day I have to fast. That's the first thing in the mind. And then middle of the day, and then in the afternoon, and then you already feel calm. You overcome that time. And already, like, you came in there at night, and nothing. You're not worried about food. But that beginning, oh God, I have to fast all day, you go crazy. Because you're not trying not to think about it. Chant Hare Krishna. That's the whole idea, process of yasa. We have to practice to think of Krishna. It's not easy. You sit down, as soon as you sit down, I'm going to go to the temple, sit down, look at the deity, chant my rounds. As soon as you pick up the beads and sit down to chant, and the mind just goes everywhere. Yesterday I have this problem. You can't concentrate on the holy name. It's just tug of war between you and your mind and the senses. You have to tell yourself, no, I'm here to chant Hare Krishna. Don't give me trouble. That's strength. You have to tell yourself very strongly. Get up in the morning. It's so tough. Really tough to get up. In the summertime it's easier. Can't sleep, very hot. Fan blowing all night. I couldn't sleep last night. I just got up and opened the phone and go on the Facebook, midnight. And then you look at the screen and the eye feel heavy and start to fall asleep. And people go to the doctor, I can't sleep. You just have to look at your phone and you fall asleep. It's no big deal. Or you pick up a Bhagavatam, start to read, and pretty soon you find yourself, your face on your book, and you just fall asleep. Some people, they think they have to go to the doctor and they can't sleep, they need this, that. All you have to do is just look at the screen. After a few minutes you feel sleepy. Go deep breathing, the yoga, you'll fall asleep. So I couldn't sleep at night. And I had the fan on, and the room, that's in the ashram, the room was small, I was just kicking things, and it was terrible. I tried to enjoy, try to sleep. Basic things in life, can't even sleep. And I'm thinking, I'm the enjoyer. I have so much money, I am so rich, I have this home, that home. You can't even freaking sleep at night. You know what I mean? And we think you're the enjoyer. You know, a few days ago, it was the end of last month. It was, oh yeah, Happy New Year. And it's all over now. People are back to work. Everybody's so miserable. They say the most miserable time is around now. Because festival season is over, holiday is over, everyone, they kill themselves. Suicidal. I heard that. They don't know what to do with their life. They say, don't think about it. When the enjoyment comes, don't think about it. But it goes so fast. Before you know it, it's finished. It's time to go back to work. People are so frustrated. We don't mind. We have to do every day, have to come to temple, every day do puja, every day cook. We have to go on with our service. We have to depend on the holy name, on Krishna. Every time I have to tell myself I have to go to the kitchen and cook, I'm thinking, oh no, I don't want to cook. I don't, it's too much for me, it's too hot, too cold, and people are all around me, I don't want to see them again. You know what I mean? This just goes on and on. But we have to face this situation. I go in the kitchen, I see some people that I don't want to see. This guy, I saw him yesterday, I don't want to see him again. It's hard on the mind. This Mataji again, oh no, she's going to tell me off. Why she's here? I wish she wasn't here. You know, like this. We are always seeing how we can get out of trouble. It's a difficult situation we are in. We are in a material world. But we have to carry on somehow or another. It's so tough to live in the Kali Yuga in the material world. And we are complaining now. Just wait till another few years, 100 years, 200 years, 1,000 years. Let's get out of here now. Go back to Godhead now. It's easy to get up in the morning, come chant Hare Krishna. It's going to get harder much later. It says that there's not going to be food to eat. You come to temple, you're thinking, the food's not good enough. Later on, you're not going to get any food. It's going to be so tough. Remember 2 years ago, supermarket shelf was empty. Everyone was going crazy. That's going to really happen. So let's get out of here while we can. We have a golden opportunity to go back to Godhead right now. You don't have time to think I'm sick. Think of Krishna. Doesn't matter how hard you work to prolong your life. Eat organic food, and you do yoga, you can get maybe 5 minutes more. If you're meant to live 100 years, you will live 100 years. But we have to be healthy to serve Krishna. But it doesn't mean that you're going to live forever here. Think everything in a very practical way. It's short term. Everything is short term, which is good. We don't have to live here struggle all of our life eternally. We can get out of here quickly as possible. That's really good. In a Satya Yuga, people live for hundreds of years, thousands of years. Last Yuga, people live for 1,000 years. Imagine that. We don't even make it to 100. Imagine living for 1,000 years. Every day suffering, go to work, wow. Better we live here short time. It's a blessing. Mercy of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sing and dance. You don't even need to go to the Himalayas to meditate. Imagine sitting down meditating. I couldn't do for 5 minutes. It's too much. Singing and dancing is easy. Isn't it? Like this bacha, girl or boy? Girl. She's so happy. We have to be happy like a child. Innocency. If we can be happy, we'll be healthy. But when you think, oh God, I have this problem, I don't have enough money, how am I going to do this, and this person tell me this, meditate all day. Somebody told you something, and you're meditating. That's going to make us sick after some time. But if you're happy like a child, no stress-free life. No, they have anxiety. Actually, there's no anxiety. The world is a happy place. We make the problem. There is no problem. We make the problem. We make the problem. We bring the problem onto ourselves. So, this is the instruction of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. How we can develop that higher pleasure of life. Paramdishta nivardate. The higher pleasure is there in all of us. It's in the soul. Like you can scratch it, it comes out. That sukha, the spiritual happiness, the love for God, is innate in all of us. But it's covered now with maya, covered by ignorance. We have to uncover it. Then once you're in that level, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, when you're in that level, you don't hanker for or lament. You're satisfied. So you're trying to reach that platform by chanting Hare Krishna, by associating with devotees, by reading the Bhagavatam, by coming to the temple. You're looking for enjoyment, then there'll be a problem. Sadhu Sangha, when you're associating with sadhus, then those things, we don't want those things. But when you're looking for those material things, This place is not for that. This temple room, this spiritual places, it's a place where we uplift our consciousness. The spiritual consciousness. Everyone's affected by material consciousness. Thinking of Maya all the time. People say, let's go out and kill the time. Look around. What did you shopping? Nothing. But they're tired. We're looking at stuff. Look at Krishna. Soothing the eyes. Feel your heart in love for Krishna. So that's the platform of Krishna consciousness. So how I can become Krishna conscious, how I become free from material desire, how I can become free from body platform. It says here, associate devotees, chant Hare Krishna. Think of Krishna always. That's why we have the beads. If you don't have beads, chant in your mind. Take one devotee, he used to write the Bhagavatam verses, Bhagavad Gita verses. You know, they have these cards. They use them in school. Cards. He write down like a stack of it. And he write down verses and translation. He'd carry with him in his book, in his bag. Whenever he had time, he picks them up and reads. It's a nice way to keep yourself busy. Or you can take a bead, chant, carry a book with you. Now you can read it in your phone. They have that book, you can read. So there's every way, if you want to be Krishna conscious, every way that's possible, you can be Krishna conscious. Oh, he said, I didn't know. No. Everything is there to know. Any questions? It's just like you come to the morning program. Because you want to get up and come here. Now you're deep sleep, then your alarm goes, and you get up. Because you know it's time to get up, come to the program. Or you ask your parents, they wake you up. So you make an endeavor, isn't it? Some people, they don't, alarm go, turn it off and go back to sleep. They wake up at 5 o'clock or later on, 7 o'clock. So you have to make an effort. You have to push yourself. So that connection is there, but you need to work at it. Just like I went to school, Gurukul. You didn't go to Gurukul. Parents are like your teacher. It's like a school. They come every day, they're teaching you. You're like in a Gurukul. So, I'm not in a Gurukul anymore. At the Gurukul, they had to make you, we have a set program. Get up in the morning, go to the program, study, go to class, finish, then again. Whole day, we have been checked. But I'm not in a Gurukul anymore. But no one's coming knocking at my door. It's time to get up. But you have to push yourself. So the training you get when you're childhood, you have to use that training later on when you get old. Because you're not going to be with your mother always in your life. Maybe one day you'll be, 16, 17, 20, you'll marry, leave. That time is the most crucial time to use the training that you had as a childhood. Apply that. So, how you keep yourself connected is through the training we had. Apply that training again and again. Just like if you're hungry, you eat. Right? If you're thirsty, you drink water. Then, no, I'm not going to drink. No, but you're thirsty, you're going to drink. You're hungry, you eat prasadam. You go out to the kitchen door, can I have a puri? I see him is asking for puri. So there's always making connection with Krishna is you have to tell yourself. You have to read the book. That's why I said, come to the program, you sit in the class. This is connecting. But if you don't, even if you know it, and you don't connect yourself, gradually we're victimized by Maya, even as devotees, gradually. Slowly we fall lag behind all the way, and it's hard to come out again. Just like in a room, if you don't clean the room, you're muchi like a pig. You eat this, that. Some people are like that. They don't clean. They say, no, I'll clean on the weekend. It builds up so much rubbish. The day you clean is so hard to clean because there's so much. So every day you have to work. Every day you have to clean. Then the dirt doesn't pile up. So Krishna consciousness, every day you have to practice regularly. Regularly hearing Bhagavatam. Here or online, you have to make a habit of listening Krishna consciousness, habit of chanting every day nicely. Then you get yourself, so these are all connecting process. If you say, I can't do it, I'll do a little bit, I'll do tomorrow less, then it becomes less and less, and gradually you don't do at all. You lag behind. So you have to make considerable effort to make the Krishna consciousness at the forefront. Otherwise, you lag behind. And then it's so much so that sometimes even give up. It happens. So you're starting as a child, young age, like I did. Then when you get older and you have your own family, that time you will remain Krishna conscious because you had the training as a young age. But not necessarily. So many people had training, but they forgot about it. They don't care anymore. But because they had training, it's still there. It can come back. But you have to really apply every age of life. In Krishna consciousness, it doesn't matter young or old. The process applies to everyone. It's transcendental. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay? Thank you. Hare Krishna.